So I made a video about bronze and thread farming the lazy way, and there was a comment that I saw, and I thought it would be funny to answer it with this video. This video is going to go into bronze and thread farming the hardcore way, okay? So I'm going to go over everything that I do on a daily rotation at the moment to get as much bronze and as much thread as possible. What I do is I grab my daily quests, I grab my raid bosses, dungeon bosses, and scenarios. And then I start out by obviously queuing up for the random dungeon, not only the normal version, but also the heroic version. You can't queue up for both at the same time, so I usually do one dungeon and then one scenario. The other thing that you can also do, especially if you're any type of hardcore player, you are most likely at max gear by now. Just in case you're not, this is still worth it. Raid Finder is something that a lot of people out there don't really seem like they find it worth it to do, but the completion that you get is 500 bronze, and then this one that gives 100 stats in threads. And every single boss will give you about like 100 bronze and maybe like 40 to 80 threads, depending on what kind of a boss it is. And these are super worth it to do because you can run around and do stuff in the open world while you're waiting for these queues. Another important piece of information is that you can queue up for 7 different LFRs at the same time. So even if the queue times are a little wonky, once you actually get into one, then by the time you finish that one, the next one's probably going to pop up while you're currently running it. And right now you can see I'm actually queued up for, as you can see, the scenario and the dungeons, but I can still queue up for the LFRs. So this is all, in the grand scheme of things, something that you want to do, right? Now, if you're not much of an LFR guy, I understand that. Not everyone wants to do LFRs. So, you know, to that extent, you don't have to do LFRs. But I think it's a part of the hardcore thing to do. It's really good because in terms of overall numbers, with how fast people are clearing it with max gear, you can actually clear it so fast that it's better than some of the open world farms that are currently available. Now, another piece of information talking about raids, because we talked about the LFRs, you obviously want to do heroics. It's not worth it to do normal. It's not worth it to do mythics if you're anywhere close to max gear. You just want to do heroics. And what you want to do is you want to go into your pre-made group finder, you want to go into raids, and then what you want to look for is max geared groups. You can either find, sometimes people do like world tours. See this one, fast world tour 476 lead. Those are the ones you want to look for. The highest possible eye level geared characters that you can find in a group, that's what you want to do because that will speed up how fast you can do these heroics. I've actually gotten it down to even like an hour and a half and even close to 2 hours in completing every single one of the heroics if people are really min-maxing as much as possible. And the rewards are insane from that, right? Absolutely insane. It's really, really nice to see. Now, once you've done all your daily lockout stuff, your dungeons, your scenarios, your raids, and everything like that, then you're left to everything else. And 2 things that I do. Number 1, I go on the Timeless Isle, and I can show you guys this while I'm running here. I go on the Timeless Isle right here, and this is a farm that I've covered in the past. I'll link this down in the description below. These are angry sprites, okay? There's a purple gem crystal around this particular tree where there's a bunch of sprites at, and that's the one that you want to look for. You can do it once a day. It's still very good. You get a decent amount of bronze and a decent amount of threads, but the other good part about it is you get a really good amount of Lesser Charms of Good Fortune. Now, on Isle of Thunder, if you haven't unlocked the Isle of Thunder yet, you get the like quest line started from the Shadowpan Garrison, so that's where you want to go to get it. But once you do actually get here, you will get access to daily quests eventually once you've run through most of it. And something that you get here is a key to unlock the Latian Vault. And right around here is like a Shadowpan outpost. And there's a scenario that you can queue up for. And that particular scenario is where you run in and you have 5 minutes to collect as many chests as humanly possible. and that is also daily a part of something that I do, and it's super, super good. I'll probably plop over a video over me talking about this currently so you guys can actually see what it is, because that makes more sense, because me just saying what it is, if you guys haven't seen it before, it makes sense to not know what it would be about. But after I've done those 2 daily things, then I'm left to figuring out, okay, what am I doing next, right? The 2 most popular ways to farm bronze if you're not doing your daily stuff right now is either level boosting. So boosting in heroics is one. You can get about 3,000 to 3,500 total stats in threads per hour, and that's also alongside like 5 to 6k in terms of bronze. So if you do heroic boosting, it's because you want more ults, right? Because this is only for your main character, and if you're using a secondary account or if you're using a twink, you can actually get a lot more bronze. You can maybe even see something along the ballpark of like 20k an hour if you min-max it a lot. I'm probably going to come out with a guide on twinking at some point to see if it's worth it at all compared to max level farming, especially if you guys want more ults. But besides that, that's one opportunity. The other option you have is searching for open world farms. Now, if you only care about bronze, I would recommend the Kunlai farm. The Kunlai farm is the best open world farm there is. If you can find a blaster group of close to max geared individuals, you'll be able to get 30 to 40k an hour like of bronze easily. And you'll also get like 1,500 maybe threads. They kind of nerfed that a little bit, but it's really, really good. I've even been able to push upwards of 45k an hour on bronze, and that's just one account in an open world farm. So it doesn't have much competition these days just because of the fact it doesn't give that much threads. So if you care about bronze, that's where you want to go. As for threads, if you're not doing heroic boosting or not necessarily boosting, but just spam running heroics, the other option you have is going for the troll farm. And the troll farm is on the Isle of Thunder. And I can show you guys the location. The particular troll farm is going to be right here next to Stormsea Landing. There's a boat and there's a bunch of trolls in this particular area. That's the other one that people deem worth it at the moment. You can get, from the numbers that I've seen and heard other people say, it's about 4,000 to 5,000 threads an hour. And the bronze is also about 25 to 30k an hour, especially if you have a really good group. And that's about it. That's what I would deem the hardcore way of bronze farming. Eventually, you're going to get everything with bronze way before you get to any significant amount of threads. You can see at the moment, I'm at 176,000 stats on my cloak. And I'm almost at the point where I've bought everything on bronze. At this point, it's only a matter of me increasing the amount of threads that I have, right? Or collecting open world drops that are available on the Timeless Isle or the Throne of Thunder. But that's pretty much everything that I have for this video. I hope it was insightful, at least a little bit interesting for you guys. It's everything that I've collected so far, everything that I've been doing, trying to do a lot of every single day to collect as much threads as possible so I could farm bronze even faster. As always, if you guys made it all the way to this point in the video, make sure that you actually drop remix in the comments down below. We do that for every single MoP Remix video we do. I really appreciate it if you guys watched all the way to this point. I don't know how many remix videos we're going to make, because obviously it's a limited amount of content that we actually have available to us. But if there's anything specific that you guys would like to see or hear about, make sure that you drop that down in the comments below. I'd love to talk about it, okay? But that's going to be everything that I've had for this video. So I'll see you on the next one.